It's been a minute since Frank Ocean dropped an album. In fact, it's been 3,679,200 minutes since Frank Ocean dropped an album, and it's enough time for people to realise that Frank is not the best person. Just quickly, I'm not saying that Frank is the musical variation of Hitler, and I understand he's had some horrible things happen in his life since the release of Blonde, but the wrongdoings of the artist have gone unnoticed for far too long. We'll keep this first point brief as, like I said, Frank's been through things that would throw anyone off what they're working on. From what we know, he was working on a new album until the death of his little brother, so understandably, Frank scrapped whatever he was working on, which was rumoured to be an album titled Boys Don't Cry. But whilst we can't blame Frank for not releasing an entire body of work, surely you'd at least expect a couple new songs, especially since the artist is performing at Coachella so soon. Luckily for Frank, people don't get the chance to see him live often, so no one will complain when he performs the 7-year-old Blonde and the 11-year-old Chanel Orange. Let's move away from the lack of music from Frank Ocean, as like I said, it's understandable not to want to release anything after what happened. However, let's pose this question. If Frank didn't want to release any new music, why not give fans something and release Endless properly on streaming services? Now, I understand it's an Apple exclusive, so he probably wouldn't be able to put it on anything else, but at least split the album up for fans so they have something to listen to whilst waiting until eternity for the next project. The harsh reality is that Frank will turn up at Coachella, perform his music, and then nothing. He'll go back into his recluse and fans will await any sort of interaction from him. But let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that he previews some new music. Is that too much to ask for? Moving away from the music side of things, and we get into the merchandise of Frank Ocean, which unlike the music is low quality, but just like the music, takes ages to arrive. Frank has both the Blonded merchandise and his luxury brand Homer, but both are expensive. We'll discuss the overpriced merch first. Frank's recent drop consisted of white tees, posters, and a repress of the Blonde vinyl, and every single one of these should have been cheaper. $65 for the t-shirt, $65 for the vinyl, which have doubled in price since they first released in 2016, but worst of all, $40 for a poster, which has like 5 words on it. The extortionate price of the merch is the reason why Frank doesn't feel the need to drop any music, because his fans will buy whatever he releases when they could print a poster themselves for 10 times less the amount. Now surely for these prices, you'd expect quality customer service and for items to arrive in good condition. Well, that's not quite the case for the Blonded merch. Items being cancelled after just being ordered, awfully long delivery times, bad quality materials used, items arriving destroyed, and the list just goes on. Yet, people still buy it, so Frank continues to sell it because why wouldn't he? It's easy money. And if you thought those prices were high, your mouth will drop when you see Homer, his luxury brand. The cheapest item from there is about $500, whereas the highest, get ready, is about $450,000. And the funniest item of them all is the well-renowned cock ring that sold for $25,000. So I guess, compared to Homer, the price of the Blonded merch withers in comparison. In a weird way, it seems that Frank tries to make everything exclusive and hard to obtain for his fans. And there isn't really a viable reason to do that, and it just ends up making him look very pretentious if the $25,000 cock ring didn't already. The fans have recently started to catch on though, questioning Frank more and more, as he really doesn't seem to care about his fans at all and just treats them as a quick way to make money and pay the rent. This moves us perfectly onto our next point, which is that Frank never communicates with his fans, like, at all. On one hand, I'm sure other celebrities are jealous of Frank and his reclusive habits, and if that's how he likes to enjoy his life, then he's completely entitled to that. But surely you'd expect a little more communication with the people that literally allow him to live his life carefree. I'm not saying Frank has to be out here vlogging his daily life, but a post every now and then wouldn't hurt, especially if you're about to perform at one of the biggest festivals in the world, but still haven't said a word about it on social media. It low-key gives people the impression that you won't even turn up, and I don't think anyone would be surprised because that's just something Frank would do. It's a huge shame because Frank Ocean's music is beautiful and blesses everyone's ears on the extremely rare occasion that he does drop, and as much as he takes advantage of his fans, we will all be here when he decides to drop his next project. The world has been starved of Frank Ocean for far too long, so all we can do is hope that during his Coachella set he announces some kind of new music. I think we'd all literally take anything at this point. Whilst I've been making this video, there's been a few things that have been pointing to Frank releasing something new, so let's hope for the best. But what do you think? Is Frank a bad person that takes advantage of his fans, or are we simply angry at Frank for not releasing music in so long? and so we dig into every aspect of his personality as a way to get back at him. Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn on post notifications to not miss my next video. And just quickly, thank you for all the support recently. I think we're up to 250 subscribers. Hopefully I can keep making quality content for you guys and just improve with each video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.